Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming out with the weekly Minks Monday Q&A. Before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently rocking, and that is the Chanel wallet on chain and the black caviar leather with the gold hardware. Alright, so grab your coffee, grab your tea, let's start work, let's go to work, let's do laundry, whatever it is that you do, come join me. We have some awesome topics to cover today. Starting with the first question from N. Vega. I'm not going to try to pronounce your first name because I know I'm going to butcher it, but would you ever consider doing a no-buy year? This is an awesome question. I know that this is a very hot topic at the moment, and I'd be lying if I said no. I'd be lying if I said yes. So I'm going to go ahead and say maybe. And the reason I say maybe isn't because I don't feel that I can challenge myself to go a year without buying anything. The reason I say maybe is because I've noticed that as the years have gone by, I don't purchase as much as I used to. If you were to go back 5 years ago and compare that to what I purchased last year, I feel like it's night and day. So nowadays, I feel that I'm a lot more calculated. I'm a lot more careful on what I add to my collection or what I spend my funds on. So I don't, like I said before, I don't feel that that it would be difficult to do that. But at the same time, if I do find something that I truly, really like, I'm gonna go ahead and add it to my collection. You know what I mean? And I know that there's, like I said, that this is a very, very hot topic. Some people are wanting to challenge themselves, which I think is fantastic. And this kind of goes back to what we talked about last week, about getting that butterfly feeling when you go to purchase luxury goods. Someone said it perfectly. It's like having too much of a good thing, you know? So if people want to challenge themselves to not buy anything for a year because they want to be able to, enjoy the items that they currently have, then I think that's awesome. Just like I think it's awesome if someone doesn't do it because they do like to shop and they see themselves buying a few more items this year. I think it's great. At the end of the day, it's whatever makes you happy. And if you feel like doing the no year buy, or if you don't feel like doing it, it's all a matter of personal preference. All I can say is that myself, I know that I'm going to put more of an effort of enjoying what I currently own. And if I do happen to find something that I really like, as I said previously, or something that catches my eye, I'm gonna go ahead and add it to my collection. But it's not necessarily for me about adding just to add, or buying just to buy, or having something to unbox just because it's been 2 months or 3 months or what have you about doing an unboxing. Now I see it a lot differently, and now it's more so about adding things that I like, not necessarily going for something because it's popular or anything like that, but to each their own. Like I said before, at the end of the day, if it makes you happy, then by all means go for it. But I would love to know, are you guys on a no-buy year? Are you going to try to challenge yourself? Or is it more like, you know what, I like the no-buy year thing, but for me, I see myself adding things to my collection. And I'll go even a little bit further and say that if someone makes you feel bad because you're not doing a no-buy year, pay no attention to that. Because like I said before, it's all a matter of personal preference. So fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Marion. I noticed that you don't have a Fendi Peekaboo. I've been researching the bag and I love the look and especially love the organization. What are your thoughts? Before I get any further, let me insert a picture of the Fendi Peekaboo right now. Now, I wasn't always the biggest fan of this bag, and if you go back to the beginning of Minks Monday, I had people ask me about the Fendi Peekaboo, and I was like, nope, it's not for me, it's not for me. I don't really like the little sag that it has, you know, in the front, even though I know that's where the name comes from, the Peekaboo, so you can see the interior. But still, I was like, no. However, as the years have gone by, that bag has definitely grown on me. I think it is so incredibly cute. I love the fact that you have different sizes to choose from, you have different materials to choose from. I also love the organization. It comes with a removable strap that's adjustable so that we have a little bit more versatility. It's like 4 bags in one, you know, and I've always been a really, really big fan of Fendi's leather. I think they have very, very beautiful leather. Great quality. And it was actually last year I had the opportunity to go into a couple different Fendi boutiques, and out of all the bags, the Peekaboo was the one that kind of called to me, you know, so I tried it on and I am a huge fan. I think it is so, so cute, like I said before. And that's one of the Fendi bags that I've been looking to add to my collection some point in the future, you know. There's no rush, but still, I don't know, there's something about it that I really like. So never say never. Never say never. never, because tastes always change. So if you do end up adding it to your collection, congratulations. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from FezCon. Hopefully I said that correctly. I have a Chanel wallet on chain, but I want a bag. Do I go for the mini rectangular or buy the medium? All right, so I have a little bit more eye candy. Here is the Chanel medium in the black caviar with the silver hardware. And I also brought out the Chanel mini rectangular in the black caviar with the light gold hardware. And here they are side by side. All right, and I think that's a little bit tough because it's all a matter of personal preference. It's all a matter of what you see yourself adding to your collection and what you see yourself using the most. And I feel that each one offers something a little bit different. For example, with the mini, even though it is small, I've said it before, it still packs a punch. You have to go compact, but you don't have to go crazy compact where you can only carry like lipstick and maybe one wallet. I feel that you can carry a little bit more. And it's not as versatile, I would say, as the medium, just because of the strap. The strap doesn't have two other grommets that you can end up doubling up the strap. So this one, you can only use it as a crossbody bag, or you can use it on your shoulder. If you do go to hide the chain inside of the bag, it takes away from anything else that you want to carry in here. So let me just show you guys the interior of it. So it is somewhat spacious for a smaller handbag. Now, when it comes to the medium, with this one, you can't necessarily get away with using this crossbody. I know some people have been able to. I can't. I feel like I'm kind of suffocating the bag, if you will, but you can still double up the straps, or you can use this as one lock strap. So that's really, really nice. Now the medium, I feel that you can carry a little bit more than the mini. So here's the interior of this one. And because it does have the double flap, that also kind of takes away how much you can carry in here. But between the two, I still feel that this one carries maybe 2 to 3 small leather goods more than the mini does. Now the craziest thing is the price point, because the rectangular mini currently retails for $3,500 here in the States. And if I'm not mistaken, the medium retails for $5,600 here in the States. So that's why I said it's all a matter of personal preference. It's all a matter of what you see yourself using. If you want something that's maybe a little bit more compact, something that you see yourself using crossbody, then I would recommend going for the mini. Or if you want something that's just a tad more versatile and you're not really crazy about carrying it crossbody and you want to carry a little bit more, you have the option with the medium. Because with this one, you can carry a little bit more or you can carry a little bit less. And this one's just a tad more limiting than this one is. So I don't know if that's helpful, but whichever one you go for, I think that they're beautiful handbags and I think that they'll make a great addition to your collection. So fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Julia Hesbeck. Hopefully I said that correctly. What are your thoughts regarding the Hermes Constance? Can you imagine this bag being part of your collection anytime in the future? Before we get any further, let me insert a couple pictures of the Hermes Constance right now. This bag right here, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And I know some people aren't a fan of it because of the age. They feel that it's somewhat too oversized, or they feel that it's a little bit gaudy, but I am such a big fan of this bag. Whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Instagram, I feel like my eyes instantly light up. And I also like the fact that it is very simple. Even though it does have that age, I still feel that it's a very simple handbag. And do I see this bag being a part of my collection anytime soon? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I'll be honest with you, the price scares me. All right. Call me what you will, but the price kind of scares me. And if I was in a position, you know, if I was in a financial position to add it to my collection, I still don't think I'd add it even then. Just because I feel like I'd be terrified of anything happening to it. But I still appreciate it nonetheless, you know. So at this point in time, I don't see it in my collection. At any point in time in the future, of course, we never know what the future holds, but I just think it is absolutely gorgeous. And, you know, if the Hermes Constance wasn't a possibility at any point in time, then I certainly would go for a dupe, in my opinion, which is the Celine box bag. I love that bag. I know some of you guys guessed that that's the bag that I was looking to add to my collection within the next year or two, but I feel that it's somewhat similar, so I feel like I'd get my fix. But the Hermes Constance is an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous bag, but I don't see it in the cards for me at any point in time. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Jennifer AD. I don't want to pronounce your last name because I know I will butcher it. In the first question, you mentioned that you would resell your Mon Mono. Curious why? This is in reference to the topic that we discussed last week, the 5 bags that I would keep, 5 bags that I would get rid of, and I said the Speedy 30 Mon Mono. I've been thinking about getting one myself, but I've been debating it. I've been searching on YouTube for inspiration. What are your feels for Mon Mono? I love Mon Mono, and I love it because you can personalize the handbag or a small leather good. You can add, now you can add numbers. I know at one point in time you were able to add numbers, but you can also add your monogram on there. So I think that's great. You can also choose your colors. And here is my Speedy 30 Mon Mono. I chose the colors fuchsia and blanc, and the biggest thing that I love about this bag is the fact that the interior is also fuchsia, so I really like the combination. But the main reason why I said I would end up getting rid of it is because I don't use this bag as often as I used to. When I first got it, I used it to death, and once I got the Pochette Métis and once I got the Speedy 25 bandolier, I carried this a lot less. Actually, I can't remember the last time I used this bag. I still love it, but it came down to the fact that anytime I would go for a medium-sized monogram bag, I would often reach for the Pochette Métis and the Speedy 25 bandolier over this one. It could be because of the strap that those two have. It makes the bag a little bit more versatile. I'm able to incorporate it into my lifestyle a little bit more than this one. I'm still crazy about the Classic Speedy. I love the Classic Speedy 30 size. I think it's great, but I just don't use it as much. So I think that if I didn't have the Pochette Métis, and if I wanted something a little bit more versatile, I would have gone for a Mon Mono Speedy 25 because I feel like it's the best of both worlds. You get to personalize it, you get to add your colors, and it's also a very versatile handbag. But that's the main reason why I said I would get rid of it, because I don't use it as often. At one point in time, it was on the chopping block, but I love this bag. I love the colors that I chose. I like the combination. I more so just see myself using it as either a travel piece or something that I can carry here and there, but the other two just have a lot more to offer, a lot more that I see myself carrying than something like this. But I still love Mon Mono nonetheless. So fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Coffee and Makeup 24. With all the Chanel price increases, I am almost outpriced before I can even start my collection. How would you go about starting a Chanel collection? Which bags would you buy first, and in which order? All right, so first and foremost, when it comes to starting any collection, whether it's Chanel, Louis Vuitton, or any other brand out there, the biggest piece of advice that I can say is to go for bags that you see yourself using, bags that you like, bags that make your heart sing. And the reason I say that is because I was kind of caught up with adding certain silhouettes to my collection that didn't necessarily end up working out for me in the long run. So that's why I always say go for bags that you really see yourself using regardless. Now, as far as the order in which I would add them to my collection, if I had to start all over, I would have to say it would be the wallet on chain, even though I know that's a small leather good, but I use it as a handbag. So it would be the wallet on chain, the reissue, the medium large, the medium, the GST, the jumbo, and last but not least, the boy bag. And that's the one that I was referring to. With the boy bag, I really appreciated it on other people. I thought it was a really fun design. It was certainly a little bit different than anything else that the fashion house offers, so I was immediately intrigued. But push come to shove, that bag isn't necessarily for me and my lifestyle. So that's why I don't really use it as much. I use it a lot more now than I ever did in the beginning. You know, I started carrying it a completely different way. But still, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't end up adding that bag to my collection at any point in time. So that's why I say always go for bags that you see yourself using, bags that you absolutely love. And in my eyes, I don't think that a certain number of bags means that you have a collection. I think that whether you have 2, whether you have 200, that's a collection. You know what I mean? At least that's the way that I see it. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from BMLXO. If an opportunity came up and you had the chance to create a bag or have your own bag company, which would you choose? All right, so either create a bag or own my own bag company. As amazing as I think it would be to own my own bag company, just based on time alone, and being somewhat selfish, I'm gonna have to go with collaborating with an already established company out there. Because I think that between the two, that one would be somewhat easier, and I say easier very, very loosely because I know that's still incredibly difficult. You know, and you still have guidelines that you have that you have to abide by for that company because you are representing them in a sense. And as great as it would be to have my own company, like I said before, because you get to call the shots, you get final say on all the details, I still think that starting any company from scratch is a lot more difficult than, say, collaborating with another brand. And also because I feel like it would be years and years and years before I would see the fruits of my labor, you know? That's why I was saying about the whole time thing, because if I collaborate with someone, I don't think it would take as long as, you know, starting a company from scratch and then having a product for people to be able to purchase. I don't know, but that's just the way that I see it. But I would love to know your guys' thoughts on this question. Would you go for collaborating with a brand, or would you go for starting your own company? But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Cynthia Chavez. Since I see you have the Furla bag, do you consider Michael Kors and Coach in the same quality level? Have you ever considered trying those brands? So we have a little bit more eye candy. Here is the Furla Julia bag, or the Julia Gulia that I like to refer to it. And this is very similar to the Metropolis that you can find in stores. The Julia is more of like an outlet version. This is the one that you can get at Nordstrom Rack, Saks Off the Fifth, or Neiman Marcus Last Call. But I absolutely love it. And would I ever consider trying out the other two brands? With Michael Kors, I've never purchased any leather goods from them, and I haven't really found something that I've been inclined to want to add to my collection. With that brand, I've more so added a couple watches, some jewelry, and some fragrances. Now with Coach, Coach was actually the very first brand that I ever purchased when I got into collecting handbags. So I will always have a special place in my heart for Coach. I actually have 3 pieces left from the collection that I had way back when, so I absolutely love them. Now would I consider Furla to be right around the same as Michael Kors and Coach? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. And the only reason I say that is because, unfortunately, I haven't experienced Michael Kors firsthand. I've only heard about, you know, quality or things like that. So I personally haven't experienced it enough to know that that's where I would kind of put it. And as far as Furla goes, I've only had this one bag, so I haven't experienced any other handbags from the fashion house to say with certainty that I feel that it's right around the same. So I feel that it would be kind of unfair for me to say yes or no. You know, and I feel that between the 3, just based on what I've seen and based on what I've heard, I feel that Coach is just a tad higher than the other 2. And the only reason I say that is because I feel that within the last couple of years, they have really stepped up their game. They have introduced some new materials to the brand, and I feel that they've kind of elevated their entire I feel like they've really elevated their entire brand in general. At least that's the way that I see it. I know some people might disagree with me, and that's totally fine. But just based on what I see when I go into the boutique or when I go into the store from Coach, I really like just the details that they've introduced and just those little you know, those things that they've added to their bags that they didn't have maybe 5 years ago. You know, but I know that just based on this bag, I love Furla, and I do look forward to adding more Furla to my collection because I feel that they have some very, very beautiful silhouettes and they have amazing price points. And it's also not the type of bag that's going to fall apart within the week or within the month or anything like that. With this one, I've had it for going on almost a year. I put that thing through the ringer. I wasn't very careful whenever I'd carry it, and I feel like it's as good as new. It looks exactly the same way that it did when I first got it. So in my eyes, Furla is absolutely amazing. But still, I feel that it would be very unfair for me to say I think that they're the same because I haven't really given Michael Kors a chance, and I haven't really experienced too much of Furla for me to say, yeah, I think that they're all the same. And you can't base it off of price points because with price points, it can be somewhat misleading. Just because something is expensive doesn't automatically make it better than something that's less expensive, you know what I mean? So I don't know if this ends up helping out, but fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. And the last question from Tiffany, do you still love your luggage tags? I got one a few months ago and I wanted it so badly. However, I have only tried it on my bags, taken it off, and I haven't put it on any of my bags. It's just been sitting in its box in my closet. I've even considered selling it, but then I feel like I would have seller's remorse. Has anything like this ever happened to you? All right, so do I still love my luggage tags? I do. I am a sucker for luggage tags, you guys know, especially because I like to use them as bag charms. And I do have some in in a pouch that I end up interchanging with some of the pieces that I have for my luggage. But for the most part, if I find a bag that has sentimental value, or if I have a bag that I really want to add a luggage tag to instead of a bag charm, I end up adding that tag and I leave it there. Case in point, this guy. This is the Louis Vuitton Speedy 30 Classic in the Demi Azur. A lot of you guys know that this is a forever piece for me. It has so much sentimental value. And when I got this luggage tag, it has an M, a heart, and an E, so Many Loves Edward. This was a gift from the hubby. So it's kind of like all three of us, you know what I mean? So this tag, I feel, makes the bag even more special. I know it's kind of corny, but that's just the type of person that I am. So I like to just add a certain luggage tag to it and I leave it alone. But what I would do, I would end up putting it on one of your handbags, testing it out and see how you like it before you decide to sell it. Because if you sell it before you necessarily give it a chance, I feel that that's where seller's remorse can kind of come into play. But if you try it out on your bag and you're like, you know what, this isn't for me, it's not something that I really like on my bag, then that's when I would end up selling it. So I don't know if this helps, but fantastic question. All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to help. You guys had some awesome questions this week. For this week's lineup, I have one more video. You guys will see me either Thursday or Friday. I'm going to shoot for Friday, to be completely honest with you. But regardless, you will see me one other time. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. And I'll see you guys later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day.